Disk not ejected properly.
Oh, don't even. I mean, do you not get these things on your computer? It stresses me the fuck out.
Hi, I'm Sarah.
And I'm Candace.
And welcome to Don't Start.
And as we like to say, don't start.
Candace, save it for the show.
Exactly. So let's get to it.
It's all good.
We are all working very hard. Me, you, and your computer.
We're working
She's
so hard.
struggle busing.
She is when you're as your computer. Well, no, your phone sounded like this. It sounds like it's taking off.
Yeah, my phone.
Remember?
Prior, we were like, "What is that fan noise?" It was like. Brrr.
It was a full-on airplane taking off.
It was my phone every time I went to camera mode.
Oh my god!
And the weird thing is, one time I was sleeping in bed. And it went off. And I was like, somebody's using my camera while I'm in bed.
It sounds like a fan, like a bathroom
Conspiracy theory.
No, when my computer does the bathroom fan, I'm like, are you going to fly away? What's happening? What's happening?
Caw.
And
But you did have a little bit of issues with your MacBook Pro. Is it a MacBook Pro? I don't know.
it was so stressful.
Yeah.
I was sitting in Apple
You had a Sex in the City, Carrie Bradshaw moment where the hard drive went kaput.
I literally died. I cried, drove all the way to Apple, and they were like,
I can't believe you were texting me, and I was like, wait, this is a lot for a writer specifically. That's emotional.
Yes, I had
distress.
Are you this person? I have a lot on my desktop, but I know where everything is, and then I do have an external hard drive. But like, I just don't like. Okay, so there's like this kid that I know. He's super young and he's amazing and he's my techie genius and he'll help me with some things.
Oh my God,
and
you sound like my mom when she goes to like the butcher. I know the butcher. He gets me the best meat.
He's like the 17-year-old kid.
What is his name?
He's darling. His name's Pete. He's darling.
You just talked about him like you were a 6-year-old woman. Like, what are you talking about? He's a darling kid.
Because I feel like I'm such an old ass when he talks about things technology-wise.
Choose
I'm like,
another
what?
phrase. I don't want you to be an old ass.
An old person. And I was like, wait,
not tech savvy.
But you know what? Even when I was young, I wasn't like, even when I was like 17, I wasn't tech savvy and like whatever. But he explained to me, I'm the type of person that I'm like, oh, my hard drive is getting full. I'll just get a new computer. He's like, no, you have hard drives that are external, and that's where you save your stuff. I'm like, yeah, but I don't want to. I just want it all on the computer. And he was like,
you have an external hard drive?
Oh, no. He's taught me. He's
groomed me. You
me.
don't have an external hard drive?
I never used to. I have so many now over the last, like, couple of years.
Oh, yes.
But I'm just saying that, like, he groomed the shit out of me. He was like, get with it, Candace.
I never thought of that as a positive term, grooming.
No, it's not.
Well, I would say I just groomed Juno.
Oh,
and they chopped off all her floof. I get such anxiety, even for me as a person getting my hair done at a new person.
I know.
Grooming stresses me out. And I'm like, I know the dog needs to get her hair trimmed.
Yeah.
But I love how floofy she is. It's kind of like how I feel about Chad's hair. I like it.
Chad's hair's beautiful.
Yeah, but it's long and floofy. I think Juno and him are similar.
You know what?
In how they live their hair life.
Listen, like father, like daughter. But I will say
puppy.
That, like, I love long locks on a guy, and so does Tom. He's always like,
Excuse me?
Yeah, he's always like, I want to grow my hair. Ooh, like a
Has
Matthew
he
McConaughey.
ever?
Wait, we tried it during COVID, and he used to make this.
Oh, gee, you grow Tom's hair too? We tried it. Are you like the we pregnant?
Didn't
were you
work
guys
well.
when you guys were pregnant? Would he say we're pregnant? Are you
No,
the we?
he said Candace. I'm saying we because it was a group effort to grow this hair.
What would you give him? Vitamins and everything?
No, every day he'd be like, it's looking weird, right? I'm like, yeah, you look like, and we call him Aunt Terry because he kind of looked like a woman. It wasn't like manly on him, and he
like
even
Mrs.
joked.
Doubtfire.
He was like, "I look girly." He didn't look manly with the. I don't know. We both envisioned something else, and we were just dying, crying, laughing.
Chad uses my hair elastics. He's like, "Hey, do you have a hair elastic?"
I love it.
Like, yeah. Oh, the other day we were in the pool, and he like did a mermaid flip, like the George Washington thing, and I was like, "God darn it, you just splashed me," where I'm trying not to get my hair wet because it's such, and he's just like,
I love it.
I've called him this before. He's merman.
Merman. This is great. Wait, I'm really excited today. We have a guest.
It's a guest day.
I love guest day.
And you know what? I vocalized this one because we met doing Los Angeles theater, which I would say, and I don't know if you agree with this, but like when you're auditioning like a maniac in LA or New York, I would say more Los Angeles because New York is primary theater people.
Yeah.
So in Los Angeles, I always thought theater was my therapy and my family, right? Because you're auditioning for film and TV commercials traditionally out in Los Angeles.
You really are.
You're not finding your theater community. And I think he was part of my family community.
That makes me feel so good for you.
Mr. Ryan Garcia. And he's hilarious. And I would say this 100%. He's scene stealing. He played Hook. He was Captain Hook, Dustin Hoffman version of Captain Hook.
I love it.
Robin Williams as was I just talking about Robin Williams? In my mind, I thought I was.
Oh, wow.
Please
you had a
cut
brain
that.
fart. I
Please
love that.
cut that in. But anyway, he's hilarious and he's a scene stealer. He's a voice shifter because he does voiceovers for Nickelodeon.
I love this.
I mean, the dream of all dreams. Like, he does incredible impressions. But to be able to throw your voice as different characters, what fun and joy.
Actually do it well.
Yeah, and he's on TV. He's been in Community, Side Hustle, The Lincoln Lawyer. He's also very, he's an actor that's on the IAMA theater. I don't know if I'm supposed to call it something or if it's supposed to be IAMA theater.
I think it's IAMA.
We're going to have to find out.
We'll ask him.
But also, this has been a new venture for him, I think, as of recently. We're going to have to go right to to Ryan Garcia for this. But the Try Guys.
The Try Guys.
They're hysterical. I just watched something about they were trying to guess whose smell was what by giving somebody a
Stop
shirt.
it. I want
They
to
were
know
at
how
a
that
spooky
started.
house. I love Ryan Garcia. I mean, his Mucho Garcias is his Instagram.
So funny.
He's just as funny as that.
A freaking delight.
I was a pretty all over the place intro, but he can bring us in and really you're going to see his energy. It's going to come off the computer screen. So bring him in. LA time.
LA time.
Recording in progress.
Oh, talk about luscious locks.
We were just talking about everyone needing luscious locks in life.
Can
Look
take
at this.
Chad like a run for your money. His money.
Oh, wow. I really love how this is starting.
I was looking out your hair and I was like, forgot to start
The microphone
working.
was off to the side and she's just like staring at the screen.
I was.
Woo! Someone's got luscious
Hi.
locks.
I think I'm blushing over this hairdo.
I love it.
Well, thank you very much. Can you hear me okay?
We hear you.
You sound fabulous.
Hey, what is time really?
What is time? Nothing's changed. Last time we saw each other was in Orlando, I believe.
Yeah, but I also don't know. Both of us lived in Los Angeles at some point. This is Candace.
Hi.
Ryan. Are you getting
So
your protein?
happy
Is that
to
a
meet you.
protein drink?
I've got to get my Premier Protein in. A
Oh my
sponsor
God,
of
you look
Ryan
like an
Garcia,
ad.
Try
I
Guy.
love between the hair and the protein drink. He
can't.
looks like an ad.
Oh my, he's the best. He's
It's
already
just
the
the
best.
best, the
Oh,
best.
Good interview. We'll talk later.
Thanks.
Hi, everybody. This is wonderful.
But the fact that both her and I were like, we're going at 1:00 here, East Coast time.
We both had like the ditziest moment where we like looked at each other and we were like, it's 1:00. And
And you
again,
said-
we were like, no, it's 11. Oh
Yeah.
shit, it's 2.
Yeah, I checked it like multiple times too, because I don't know if we had talked about 10, but then 11 was on the email, so I was like,
Just
hey,
make us feel
that's
better
okay.
and say we talked about 10 so we didn't mess it
the
up.
formal email really went well, didn't it?
Yeah, way to go,
Happy we
Candace
did
and Sarah.
that.
But thank you
You
for
always
being
honor
here.
the call sheet, you know?
Woo! Thank you for being here.
So
We made it work.
Ryan, the way that Candace and I know each other is through the theater community. And in your intro, I talked about Los Angeles theater and how it becomes a family out there as well. And I consider you so much part of that community. To me, honestly, why I was like kicking and screaming leaving Los Angeles was because of people like you. But you're a Florida man. Like,
I'm a Florida boy,
At
well, not
heart.
raised, but born. I was there till I was 8.
okay, got it. But then you went back there for college.
Well, Florida has that great program, Florida Prepaid. You know about that?
Oh no, explain that to me.
To the listeners, I said,
Listen-
gotcha.
listen up, listeners.
My brother has kids out there, so I do know that.
Yeah, Florida Prepaid, unless I'm incorrect, is like when your kids are born, you can pay whatever 4 years of state school college costs at that time. And then when they come of age to go to school, if they go to a state school, they can use that for 4 years of school, or they can just take the money.
Phenomenal.
Right. Okay, great. We're here to promote Florida
No,
education.
we're promoting Florida.
I did
Look,
go.
I'm not
I
saying
went to
that
the U.
that the like Florida school system is the best. No, what am I doing?
Yeah, you threw it up.
I'm just like I'm in a mirror exercise right now.
So
you talk about theater, and I'm just like immediately at improv.
Ironically, when I moved back to Florida for a job, I was welcomed by his face, being a doctor for University of Miami Healthcare, or maybe like the medical school there. And then today I get a text message. He goes, "I just saw you on a commercial for Jacuzzi. I feel like this is fate that I'm supposed to see you today."
We're laughing about this Jacuzzi commercial. People are spotting Sarah.
We're not
everywhere
talking about. We're not here to talk about Jacuzzi. We're here about talk about you, that luscious locks, and your career.
Tell us all the things. Where do we start, Sarah? When
did you get to LA?
I moved to LA in 2010. After I graduated from college, I went and did my internship up in upstate New York at this great theater in Ithaca called the Hangar Theater.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a beautiful theater. And it's actually really, they put up great work there.
They really do. And I did November, this show by Mammoth. And then, I was supposed to plug in this. I'm so sorry. Oh, gosh. I was trying to put in so that we weren't on the same. I was plugging in the router. Okay, now we've got great
Here we
internet.
are.
So I went there and did that, and also did the regional premiere of Rent.
No.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I didn't know this.
Yeah.
Who were
You know a
you?
lot of things about me, Sarah.
That's why we're talking. I feel like
right.
this is the first conversation. Who did you
This
play?
is the first conversation we've ever really had.
Yeah.
You ever have that thing? Like I have this thing I have to like remind myself because when I have like a coffee or lunch with someone, I'll go back and talk to my wife and she'll say, "So what's going on with them?" And I was like, "I have no idea. We did bits for an hour."
You know what's so funny? I have this conversation with my husband. He'll like see someone and I'm like, "How's blah, blah, blah? How's his wife?" And he's like, "Oh, no, we didn't talk about that." I'm like, "You had dinner. What did you talk about?"
I said, "Well, why don't you ask them? I had a nice dinner."
Yeah, we just did jokes and bits and we never actually talked
And
about our
I came
lives.
home and it made me happy.
Hey.
But also there's that beauty, and we talk about this before, of like, you know, you have chemistry with your wife or your husband or your partner, and it's like that's the same thing with friendships.
Yes.
That it's like if you have that ability, that is rare. So let
That's
us
the thing
bid.
of like you see somebody just drop right back into your old routines. Like there's no need for catch up. We're just like right back on the train that we left off.
So let's find
love
out
that.
a little bit more about you. Who did
you
you
wanna stick
play
to
in
bits?
Rent? Who did you play in Rent?
Yeah, let's talk about that for a minute.
I had I think 30 costume changes total.
you
but
did
like a couple of them on stage. I had multiple costumes layered.
Yes.
So I
my
was the
God.
man who sold drugs, and I was
Yeah.
also one of the homeless people singing Christmas time.
Yes.
A bohemian. So I was all over the place.
Oh, that's great. So you went from theater, then what happened? Tell us.
I
Ithaca.
moved to LA,
Yeah.
and then I went right back to Ithaca and did Man of La Mancha there, and taught kids how to act.
Oh, how'd that go?
I did that for a little bit of time.
It was great. It was middle schoolers.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you know, some of them were a little tough to wrangle in, but you
Kids
could
are
tell
hard.
the ones that was like, "Oh, you're going to be a future theater kid."
Isn't it wild? Just like
love
when you
it.
see like young athletes, like when I go see my niece's basketball game, I was like, "Oh, that kid is good." And I'm talking about my niece, of course, right? But no, when you see that, like, and it's like they just got it. They sparkle, they shine, they have whatever the pace. They're shooting the hoops.
And some of it is talent, but some of it's also obsession. Where you can some of them are like, well, you may not have like all the talent right now, but you're so obsessed with this that you're going to build it over time.
Well, don't they say
Okay.
hard work beats talent any day, right? Like if they
Right.
consistently stay and work, they will probably beat talent over, that. But I will say, do you talk about the it factor with kids, with their parents? It's a big reason why I never opened up a theater or a dance studio. I used to get thrown that all in my 20s. Why don't you open up a theater? Tom and I were like, no, we can't, because I didn't want to have the conversation with a parent that thought their kid had the it factor, or they did or didn't, and I had to explain it.
No,
did you get
would
that?
love to watch all of us tell a parent that their kid does not have the
I
it
can't
factor.
do it.
I'm sorry, but
And who am I
Sally
to
just
judge?
doesn't
But I
have
can't
it.
do it. What is that? Did you get that question a lot?
No, I never had to talk to parents because I only did that for that one summer, and it was like a quick program. But I have, because I teach acting out here in LA, and I have had people ask me, do you think that this is worth it? Should I keep pursuing this? And I had
That's
to
a
say to
lot.
this person, I was like, it doesn't matter what I think.
Yeah.
Because I think people in this industry
Correct.
have the most talent and never get their shot.
It's
Yeah.
true.
And I think people with mediocre talent have long careers. So it's
So
so
true.
dependent on like, do you fit? Are you? What I said to her was, are will something else make you as happy as this does? Like,
I
does
think
this?
that's
There's the
I think
answer.
that's always
There's so many times in my career that I've gotten second place, and second place does not count. You know, like it doesn't actually get you that next job. It's a stamp of like, oh, you're doing the right thing. And also, my manager has used, like, I've tested for shows in the past, and he's used that test to get me an audition for another job to be like, look how much they love him. If you want him, you better snatch him up quick. So there can be internal uses of that, but when it comes to talking to family members, they're like, but you didn't get it. Made my own reel. I kind of thought about like what are different voices I can do. Once I figured them out, I wrote out little like 3-line scenes for them, recorded it, went on YouTube, ripped some sound effects and music, and made it sound like it came from real projects. And then I went to actors who I knew who had voiceover agents who were of the opposite gender. So I went to women and I was like, can you send my stuff to your agent? Because we have no conflicts.
Yeah.
We're going to cover the same roles, so I'm not going to steal anything from you. You know what I mean? It was like, there's no competition there. And then right after that, I like my first audition was for this independent animated movie called Fireheart that recorded in Montreal with William Shatner. And,
Oh my goodness.
Oh gosh, now I'm gonna forget all their names. Anyway, it's a great one, and it just kind of spurned the whole thing. And then in the pandemic, we were able to record all of this Nickelodeon show Big Nate that I booked from home as big Zoom group recordings. So like usually when you're doing voiceover, it's you alone in a booth,
Okay.
just recording your lines.
Right.
This one we got to record with the full cast on Zoom from home.
Love this.
That's extraordinary. What a special, unique experience specifically during that time.
Also, I love it so much. I had so for Try Guys, we had to do this scavenger hunt. I know you're gonna get to that.
Yeah.
We want to get to that.
It's a good lead. Thank you, lead.
It ties in right here. I met this guy, Mike Bennett, who designs, he loves 90s Nickelodeon, and so all his art is like that. And so I had him, for this scavenger hunt, it was 2,500 points to get a tattoo. And so I had Mike Bennett design the first character I voiced on Nickelodeon in 90s Nickelodeon style.
Oh, that's fun.
Tattooed.
Oh my goodness.
Look at this tattoo.
Oh my God. Do you have other tattoos?
Yeah, I have one I haven't paid for a tattoo yet. I have one tattoo from a wedding.
Oh,
Did
get
you
out of
just say
here.
from a wedding?
That's pretty. So is
my
that.
friend got married in Las Vegas, and they had like full-on Vegas wedding, and there was a tattoo artist there with some like flash tattoo options to choose from.
Oh my
And
God.
wife and I both got the lucky horseshoe.
Wait,
That's a pretty solid one.
that's pretty amazing.
Yeah. How many people got tattoos? Was it like constant?
Everyone that could.
But you know what? I wish I could be spur of the moment like that. I'm like, I'm getting a tattoo. I feel like I have to put so much thought. I don't have any tattoos because I'm waiting for the right one, by the way.
Can I
It's
tell
never going to come.
very quick short story about the one tattoo I did get was when I moved from teaching in New Jersey, New York area. I was given a #1 teacher magnet. And I said, no, I got to get out of here. And that's when I moved to LA. I got a job at a Beverly Hills private school, and the guy kept saying to me, how are you with parents? And I said, I'm great with parents. And it was an acting program. And he's like, how are you with parents?
As a teacher, I get to expand into all different genres and all different types because I'm helping people from different walks of life and who portray different characters in different ages. So it's so specific to each thing that comes down the pike. Like I have a very similar process of how I start. You know, like I read everything. I think one thing that I find with the actors that I coach is sometimes they'll have only read their lines and some of the other person's lines and skipped over the action. And they'll think I'm a genius, but I'm just like, well, it says here that that's what's happening. It's right there on the page. So I remember to read everything. Like I want as much context as possible. And then it comes down to like what do I relate to? So I can easily fill in those gaps. Like what parts of those are already Ryan in this character or in this world? And then what do I need either imagination or some other like transference of memory? Like this is kind of like that. So I can use that experience of mine to fill in the gap for this character. Or I have no experience of a heroin addict. What can I use as a in my imagination to fill in that gap? And then the last thing, but the last thing I always forget to do is really think about who is the other person I'm talking to. Because I'm spending so much time building my half that I forget, like, I got to create a three-dimensional face and person that affects how I interact. And I think you can also learn a lot about the personality and the take of the writer if you look at the action, because that's where like they get to like have their voice. There's a character voices all over the place, and then here's the writer's voice coming through. So two quick things. One, last night we worked on this script, and once we figured out the scene, there's also this one character that comes in for 2 lines, and we actually spent a lot of time on figuring out why is this character here and figuring out like the writer didn't just throw this character in for no reason. This is integral to the scene. Not only what is that character doing for themselves, but how does it shift the energy between the two characters that are the mains in that scene? 'Cause it's an important like bookmark.
Yeah. Ryan, tell us about the Try Guys. We know kind of a little bit of information, but tell us how it started, your involvement, and all that fun jazz.
Try Guys is an incredible group. It was a few guys back at BuzzFeed that started trying things. Their first video was these guys, 4 guys trying on women's underwear. And it was Victoria's Secret underwear. And then that one went really well. So they did another one where it was like trying menstrual pain and simulated menstrual pain on them. And it kind of became, I think, like this men getting access to like the troubles of being a woman was kind of like the beginning of Try Guys, but it expanded into trying all sorts of things to the point where like they were trying dog sledding in Alaska and trying skydiving and all sorts of different things, and they were so successful they started their own company, and then in the past last year they added new people to their cast and started a streaming service called secondtry.tv. And so I'm part of that new cast. I'm a cast member, and my in was I went to high school with Keith, who is one of the OG Try Guys and also CEO of the business and the one of the masterminds behind their new streaming service and expanded cast.
Amazing. How do you guys decide what you're going to do next? Is there like a big like creative meeting to be like, and everybody pitches ideas?
That's such a great question that I don't know the answer to, because I feel like I talked about this with my friend Joyce, who's also one of the new Try cast members. We're very much like recurring guest stars. Like we're cast in the show, but we don't know if the showrunner's going to write us into the next episode.
Wait, that's kind of like a really good role to be in, because there's this energy of like, I don't have to come up with so much content, right? No. And also I get to show up and be in the episodes, hopefully, and bring my jazz.
It's the most fun lane to be in, because I'm just like, I show up and sometimes they say, hey, are you available these dates? And I don't know what I'm saying I'm available for. I just say, yeah. And then you show up and they're like, great, put on this thong, go over there.
Put on this thong.
You're going to try on sexy Halloween costumes. Like we don't know what it's going to be. Or I also host a game show there called Common Sense, which is very, very fun. Which in that one, I have pitched some ideas. For instance, the whole thing is like for each level of it or each round, you're only using one of your senses, sight or touch or smell, whatever. And I was watching Instagram, and there was this soup competition where people had to blindfolded taste soup, but they tasted it through a glory hole. And so I pitched the glory hole to Common Sense, and it made it to the show.
Nice.
So people had to guess the flavor of popsicles through a glory hole.
I cannot. That is hysterical. But it does seem like the ultimate like improv game where it's like you have to say yes. So now I think you are a fearless performer, which is very like I admire in you. Has there been a moment with Try Guys that you've been like, oh, I'm nervous about this, or am I overthinking, or am I,
one 100%. Step too far?
There's two aspects of it. One, when I'm in a like show or even like in an improv scene, like, okay, I know the character that I'm hiding behind or that I'm like expressing myself through. But when it's Try Guys, there is no character. It's just, what does Ryan think? What's Ryan's role? What's Ryan's function within this greater group? So that's been a really fun journey with them of figuring out who I am and what I offer. And then the other answer to that same question is we just did burlesque in New Orleans. And Keith came to me and he's like, hey, so obviously we only want to do whatever you're comfortable with, but I was thinking like maybe you and I like we should go full thong. And I said, oh, I don't know. And he said, think about it. It's that moment where like the burlesque dancer like drops everything and then lights go out. So it's just a second. It's like 1 second. And I thought, yeah, okay, good point. I'll do it.
It's
They showed
very
me
Gypsy Rose Lee, right? Where it's just showing a shoulder.
yeah, wrong. No, that's what I thought.
Oh my
So
God.
when I got into the outfit and I realized like I'm wearing a sheer robe, so my butt is out the whole time, and the robe is the first thing to come off.
Ryan, can I just tell a quick funny story? I went to New Orleans and it's one of my favorite cities. And Chad and I went to a burlesque show.
Where'd
And
you go? Do you know?
right on Bourbon Street, Sweet Desires. No, oh,
Okay.
Desires is an oyster place there, and it's attached to the hotel, the Royal Sonesta. So it's right within there, but you'll get a kick. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, this burlesque dancer is only dancing for the men. And I guess she sensed it on my face.
You got a lap dance.
She went right up to me. I feel like she probably did sense it on my face. Sometimes my face you can really read. And she sat right in front of me and put her butt cheeks towards my face and flexed each one. I was laughing. It was brilliant and wonderful, but I deserved it. I was like, about the guys, we all want to see a show. And I got the show.
You got a show. I love it.
So
Um,
tell
this
us.
one we did at was at the Always Cabaret and Lounge in New Orleans. And Lola, who is the one who brought us in and was the mastermind, she has a show called Lola Vanilla. So she wrote us a whole thing. We had to do choreography. We had to get naked, and we had a sold out house. And I think I got the most dollar bills out of all the Try Guys.
I believe it.
And that's how you prove that you were the best.
Thank you. That's what it's all about. That's what the entertainment industry is about. Are you the best?
Yeah. For your next gig in this moment.
Money, 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 money.
Yeah.
So now let's keep moving on. You already have merch talking about making some money.
I was just gonna say you have a full on merch hat.
Which is something that we can't wait and we are inspired to do. But we all connected actually amazingly through the theater community. Candace, that's how you and I met. Ryan, that's how you and I met. We all identify as theater kids. Please discuss your new podcast adventure.
Well, yeah, it actually stems from that show in New Orleans, because, very much my thinking, like, what is my function? What am I adding? Who am I within this group of Try Guys? And what's my point of view? And I realized, oh, I guess I'm like the theater kid. And one of the other new Trycasts was like, dude, you got to get into merch. So it all started as an idea for merch. Creating big theater kid energy was the thing that I'm providing. I'm like, I guess I have to do merch. And then I got invited to a show here in LA. I got invited to Anne Juliet at the Amundsen.
Yeah.
And it was because one of the interns is a Try Guys fan, and it said Ryan Garcia influencer. And I thought, wait, I can get free tickets to theater?
Your big theater kid energy was so happy.
And I realized, wait, this is like, what a great avenue of something that I can do with this new fan base that I have access to with the Try Guys, who a lot of them I think do come from theater or have theater background or at least have that theater kid energy. That's what I think that vulnerability that comes with being a theater kid is what the Try Guys really celebrate. And so their fan base is attached to that. And then I realized, like, if nothing else comes out of this new idea, which the podcast idea is, I want to prove that Los Angeles is a thriving theater town. And the way I'm going to do it is go and see shows with someone who has a big reach on social media, a friend of mine, and then watch a show and come back to my podcast studio and talk about it. And talk about it from the point of view of people who have created something from the ground up, not like a lot of critics haven't necessarily tried to make something.
Correct.
And so coming from that point of view of like, hey, it's really hard. And what's the promise of this show they've put on? And what are the big swings they're taking? And have they hit or have they not hit? But looking at it from that place of like, we all try to take big swings when we're creating something new.
I love it. When I told my husband, you have a podcast named Big Theater Kid Energy, he was like, so I should be on that because my husband is Big Theater Kid Energy all day.
Yes.
all day, every day. But I just love the idea of sort of you're not reviewing these shows so much as you're sharing what you saw and how your energy either connects to it and how you're connecting others through theater. And I love the idea of using social media for
Ryan,
that
are
too.
you critiquing the show?
Look, I am critiquing the show
Yeah.
in a sense.
Well, in a sense, but not like,
I mean,
Like,
I had a moment. I wrote you like literally
Sarah wrote me a nice,
about a Broadway show recently where I
yes.
needed to get it off my chest and discuss it, but it made me happy to have that conversation.
Yes. And also, I'll be honest, your opinion, and I'm just saying truthfully, your opinion is not coming from nowhere. It's coming from experience. And there is a level of truth to what you were saying. So, like, I appreciate that. Going along with sometimes you say sometimes a critic, right? We're like, oh, did a critic ever do theater? Like, I always wonder that too,
That's always my thing with critics.
Yeah.
May you go do that.
yeah.
And then let me know how you feel.
Yeah.
Look,
I
I went
agree.
and saw Les Mis at the Pantages, and it's the
Ooh.
best piece of theater I've ever seen in my life. So like that one, there was nothing bad ever to say about it. It blew me away. I was fifth row center, and I
Is
cried
this your
my eyes
first
out.
time? First time seeing
First
it?
time ever seeing it.
What? My entire household since I was like a kid can sing every lyric. My brother sings the duet and who's not a theater. He's not a big
Yeah,
theater kid energy, but now he might actually be.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
my whole family knows that song as well. Every song, every song.
But
It's
then I
so
also
good.
saw a show recently that I didn't realize until afterward that it was a sequel. Like
What
it
show?
was a sequel play of a pre
Um,
like there was an original play and this was
Oh,
a
wow.
sequel to that. And
Yeah.
in the talkback, I went, I'm about to blow your mind because we were watching it saying, this is great and fun, but I'm so confused who these
Oh,
people are to each other.
You're like, why are they in on the joke and I'm not?
Yeah. And so, like, I talked about that on the show. I
Yeah.
was like, hey, if you're going to market this show, it can't be hidden in the director's note that, by the
right.
way, this is to be the name of the show, sequel to, and there should be at the top of it, last week on this show. Like, give me something to
Part
lead
two.
me in. Yeah, right. So, yeah, I'll talk about where there are issues, but for the most part, it's still coming at it from a place of, I want this to succeed.
I love that.
And Ryan, what does it mean to you to have big theater kid energy?
I think that the thing that theater kids provide for each other is like there's such a safe place to let your freak flag fly. Like,
Yes.
get out there, fail big, take big risks, be loud, uh, wear too much glitter and makeup to a steak and shake at 11 p.m. after your show. Dance like nobody's watching. Like it's just very much express yourself, I think is what big theater kid energy is in a way that can be cringe. But like
Just
I
just a
think
step
cringe
too
is in.
far. Cringe
Cringe is in.
it is in. I have cringe every day. There's a moment where I'm like, oh, and it's great. I love that I have that.
You know, Ryan, when I talked about 30-minute musicals when we were out in Los Angeles, I always said it was my therapy to get me
Mm.
through auditions and the chaos of Los Angeles, if you will. And that is where I went to just let it go. Let
Just so
it all
you both know, I found in my office the Top Gun 30-minute musical playbill.
Wow.
You're
We'll,
both
we'll
in
sign
it.
it for you and we'll put it in frame.
I giggled. I was like, Tom, look what I found. He's like, we saw that. I was like, yes. And Ryan and Sarah were in it.
Yeah, I had a thick mustache.
You, I remember.
Ryan, tell everybody where we can find specifically you, the Try Guys, and your new podcast.
Yeah, find me at Muchos Garcias on Instagram. Also, I went so hard, like from the moment of seeing Anne Juliet to actually having my first episode, which was a month later, I went so hard. I got everything Big Theater Kid Energy. I have bigtheaterkidenergy.com. I have the Instagram, the TikTok, the Patreon. Like I haven't started the Patreon, but I still have it.
Just have it.
I got an LLC. Like I went so hard. So if you're looking for Big Theater Kid Energy, it's going to be hard not to find it.
Oh, that's
Anywhere you're looking for podcasts on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, look for it there. Also, Try Guys is so prevalent. Go to Try Guys on YouTube, check out Try Guys on Instagram, and also go to secondtry.tv and sign up for the streaming service because there's certain shows like Common Sense that I host that are only available there. So yeah, I'd say those are all the spots that you can find me.
And lastly, when will we hear your voice next on a cartoon or a commercial? Is there anything out there right now?
Yeah, I just recorded a couple of. I don't even know if I can talk about this. Whatever, who cares? They
Oh
can't
no,
fire
we're
me. I'm
gonna get
already
you
in
in
it.
trouble. We're gonna get you in trouble.
I won't say if I'm in it or not,
Okay.
but I
You
will say
may or may
that
not be in it.
I will say watch Crapopolis on Fox.
Okay.
It's a Dan Harmon show, and I may or may not voice a character or two on that. And also keep an eye out for Dora the Explorer. I'm not sure when episodes are coming out with me in them, but I do play a couple characters in that.
May or may not be in
I
that
may or
as
may
well.
not be associated with Dora the Explorer and Crapopolis. So I'm really hitting both sides, children and adults.
I love it.
Oh,
Ryan.
Thank you so much for your time. My face hurts from smiling too
Me
big.
too.
I know, and it keeps zooming in every time you smile.
No, it's not.
No, it'd be great if it just goes right to the top of your lips where you can just get the big old
We
smile.
both wish you continued success, and we can't wait to listen and hear all these reviews about all the theatrical experiences.
I'm going to be listening to Big Theater Kid Energy.
You better, you better. Thank you all. It was so fun to be here. Yeah, I gotta shimmy it out.
Shimmy it out. Shimmy it out.
Shimmy it out.
Thank you, Ryan.
Thanks for joining us today.
You can follow us on Instagram at Don't Start Podcast.
Or subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
And we'll see you next time, friends.
Don't Start is produced by Anthony Street Productions.